All right, hello everyone. This is the function composition tutorial. Okay, so you feel like you're struggling with composing functions, here is some help. All right, let's look at this notation first. We're giving two functions, g of x and h of x. Okay, g of x equals 3x, h of x equals 2x squared minus 5x. Okay, they want us to find g of h of x. Okay, that's how we pronounce this, g of h of x. Okay, that's how we pronounce this. Now, this notation we have not seen yet. Anytime you see this little open circle right here, this means, again, we are doing function. Let me write that up here. Function composition. Okay, what does it mean to do function composition? We are composing functions inside of another. So we are inserting one function into another, okay? We haven't seen this open circle notation. We usually see it written as g of h of x, which is the same exact thing, okay? G of h of x. Here we are inserting again in that h of x is inserted inside of g, okay? So I always like to start off with what is the normal g of x function? If we talk about what's naturally, what was the original, it was g of x equals 3 times x. That was the original function, 3 times x. Here, our input, we input x in. We input x, okay? X is the input. They want us to find g of h of x, okay? G of h of x, which means no longer is x the input. Now we have had a change. H is now the input. H of x is the input, okay? Notice the difference. It used to be that we inputted in x, right? Now we're inputting in h of x. That is now our input. H of x is the input. Okay, the input has changed to be h of x. Because again, function composition is put a function inside of another function. So we used to input in x. Now we're putting in h of x, one function inside of another, g. Notice the outside of the function did not change, okay? So I still have my h of x is being multiplied by 3 still, okay? 3 stayed the same. Let me erase this green. Okay, 3 stayed the same. Nothing happened to my 3's. It's still 3 times something. That stayed the same. The only thing we changed, as a matter of fact, is the x. The x became h of x, okay? X became h of x. And what is h of x? They told us that. We can actually plug it in. 3 times this beautiful function, 2x squared minus 5x, okay? We have inserted in h of x into x's place, and now we're actually telling ourselves, hey, we know what h of x is. We don't have to hide from it. It is 2x squared minus 5x, okay? So we went from seeing our original input was just x, then our original input changed to be h of x because that's what they want us to find. Plug in h now. And then since we actually know what h is, we use the actual function, which is 2x squared minus 5x. From here, it's a simple game of simplifying, okay? So here, our last step is to simplify. What we have to do is this nice vocabulary word I'm sure you've heard of. We need to distribute. Distribute the 3 in. It multiplies. This is multiplication happening here. 3 times 2x squared minus 5x. So it has to be multiplied by the 2x squared and the negative 5x. Well, 3 times 2x squared should give you 6x squared. So we're going to write that right here. And then again, 3 times a negative 5x, a positive times a negative number, that should definitely get me, let me write it under. That should definitely give me a negative number. Okay, so minus 15x. That is it. That is all. Oop, that didn't make the square I wanted it to. But we just found what g of h of x was. We plugged in h into the original g function, replaced the variable. All we did was replace x